We are live and recording.
People, not methodologies or tools, make projects successful. With this little or beautiful quote from Lisa Crispin and Janet Gregory from their book Agile Testing, I want to welcome you to our Agile TD webinar series with episode number 8. As you might have noticed already, Ina, which is usually hosting the webinars, she's not there. She's taken a well-deserved rest and is on her holidays and probably right now climbing and hiking. My name is Uwe, and it's my pleasure today to host the session, or to moderate at least. And on my side, on my side I have Stephanie. She's there as tech admin and doing the chat support. And also on the other side I have Isabel, doing the social media coverage, chat support, and the post-production of this webinar. I also want to say hi to our guest speaker, that's Santhosh. Santhosh, say hi.
Hello.
And before I hand over to you, I have some small details to share before. And so let's go for that. First of all, this episode is sponsored by Practitest. Practitest is a tool vendor, and they are a great partner for Agile Testing Days, Germany and US. And you should check out their products. Go to practitest.com. So yeah, thank you and big shout out to Practitest.
Cool.
Yeah, and Agile Testing Days is going hybrid. It's some kind of new things we are going to step in due to COVID-19. We will be online and on-site available this year. And right now it's the last week to catch 15% discount on on-site tickets. But of course, if you cannot join on-site, totally understandable. You can have online tickets for 180 euros only, and this covers round about 100 sessions. So this year there's no excuse to miss Agile Testing Days, in my opinion. So how to use Crowdcast? Just a quick run through. You see on your right side the chat function. It's basically there to say hi and where you're from, and But if you have a question and if you want to have the question answered, you should go to the ask the question function. And once the question is there and voted high, we're gonna pick it up at the Q&A after the talk. That's basically about Crowdcast. And of course, we have a code of conduct. And if you want to see the full details of the code of conduct, you can go to the link below, and basically it's be nice, be kind, otherwise we're gonna kick you out of the webinar. It also counts to Santhosh. A little preview. The next webinar after this one will be on September 16th with Lizzie Hocker. The topic is story of mob programming, testing, and everything. Yeah, I really recommend to join in, because Lizzie is one of the rising testing stars in my opinion. She has won the most influential Agile Testing Professional Award last year. So yeah, don't miss it and tune in again. And yeah, now it's my pleasure, and I have the honor to introduce Santhosh Tuppad. Santhosh, my dear brother, how are you? Santhosh?
Oops, sorry. I had turned off the mic.
Okay, so you're good? You're feeling good?
I'm good. Okay. Thank you.
Santhosh is from India. He's a security expert, and he also calls himself an ethical hacker. As far as I know, he started early hacking, and around about 15 with 15 and 16, and you're probably my age, so you have 15 years of hacking experience. But you can go deeper later on. He's also a keynote speaker all over the world. One of his next gigs will be at Agile Testing Days. And Santhosh is also, he is self-employed, and the company name is Work to Code. For me, Santhosh is a very inspirational person, and whenever I have a chat with him, or when you see his posts on social media, he always has some life lessons to share. So it might sound a little bit goofy, but there would be more people like Santhosh in this world. This earth would be a better place. And with these words, I want to hand over to you and give you the stage.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let me share my screen. And we go live here quickly. And you can see this. Perfect. So most or some of you may know me already. I am Santhosh Tuppad, and I have been a hacker since 16. And it has been really an unconventional journey, and not something where I went to the market and said, I want to get certified, or I want to go through some course or anything. My journey was when I was a kid. So today I'm going to speak about hacker mindset before Toolset. And the reason I'm going to speak about this topic is, for last 10 years, I have been seeing that many people speak about tools. It's all about tools in discussion forums, in meetup groups, or anywhere I meet testers. And it could be ethical hackers or security testers or penetration testers. And that question started bothering me, because my journey did not really start with these tools where someone told me, hey, Santhosh, take this tool and you can crack the password, or you can hack the web application or mobile app or Internet of Things, or anywhere, wherever the software runs, the code runs. And the more annoyed I got, I thought about this topic because it's really important. Many people think about tools. For instance, someone speaks about Selenium or many other tools as well. But it's a great framework. However, if you do not really know to test well, you're not going to use the power of that specific tool. And tools are something which will help you in being productive and making a faster progress, but they are not going to help you with the ideas, what you need to do with it. For instance, if I have a pen and I need to write my answers for the questions asked in the examination papers, I need to know that in my brain. Just having a pen, it doesn't do the magic, and it will write everything on the piece of paper and I scored good marks. So that doesn't happen. So it's the same thing when you apply this with the security testing or hacking or cyber security, many different names. But what you do mostly is similar or same at times. So do not get confused with these hackers or ethical hacking, unethical hacking, because ethical and unethical to me is a mindset again. It's a culture. And even unethical hackers have their own ethics. Now, does it make them ethical hackers? Of course, yes. But to us, they are unethical hackers. So these are the differences between these two groups, and where you also call them as black hat or and white hat. So white hat are the engineers who work for the organization and help their company to secure their software. And black hat hackers on the other side are our, you can call them as enemies, or you can call them as our opponents, whom we are fighting. And if we have to fight them better, we have to really focus on the mindset. So moving forward, I want to tell you a bit about myself. So wherein this is what the world looks at me as: a security expert, programmer, exploratory tester, JavaScript Python or even optimist sometimes. I mean, most of the times actually pessimist. And I don't know what else they call me, because it's not my job to judge them on whatever they want to see me as. So my belief is to be a pessimist, because I like being pessimist in some different ways, not to hurt people or anything. I do not go personal, but pessimist on the software. Good that the software doesn't listen to me, at least as of now. I'm not sure about it. So being a pessimist, I can get a better solutions to the existing problems. So some people call me, you are so optimistic, being a pessimist as well. So this is the world that gives me these titles or definitions of what is exploratory tester or JavaScript or Python and all these things. But what I look at myself is this part. So when I looked into the computers when I was 12, the disk operating system, which was a black and white, like, monochrome and not the great GUI, the graphical user interface where you can click the buttons and great colors. And that was the age when I fell in love with these computers. I did not have one, but I used something in the training course. And that's when I fell in love. And since then, to me, it's not my career. To me, it's about how I can really use the computers to help this world become a better place. And that's what I do. And I don't say I'm an automation expert or I'm a person who uses Python to do automation. I use computers to use their power and help them by writing my code or by testing as well, even security testing, functional or automation as well. So this is how I see myself. And the more I see this way, I learn much more deeper and better. And my specialization has been in security, because that's when I started hacking when I was 16. So I fell in love with computers at 12. And when I was 16, I started getting love for hacking. And the best story is why did I get that love for hacking? And the reason is I did not have money to pay for the internet cafes or parlors where you need to pay some amount. Even though it's cheap in Indian rupees, I have to still pay that money, and I did not have that money. So that's when I had to hack into the internet subscription pack, and I had to not pay the money. All I need is a telephone line and a dial-up connection. So I connect to the internet, and when their shop closes during the night, I start my shop from my home, because there cannot be multiple connections at the same time. If I connect, the shopkeeper, that shop person is going to get disconnected from the internet. So that's how it started off. And once this started going on, I started utilizing how I can make myself some money. And this happened in my college days, when my friends used to tell me, can you hack that person's email account? Or can you hack this maybe shopping website? I will give you so much money. By that time, I did not know about the laws based on the country you live in. And I did not know anything. There is something called as a job as well. After I graduate, I have to do a specific job, which could be a software engineer. Everyone was speaking about it, but I did not really understand what do they do after all when they graduate. So after 16 and everything, I graduated, and that's when it started, where I got to know people pay money for hacking as well. But here it's white hat hacking, where you help the companies. And things started going on that way, and I started looking into web applications, mobile apps, and Internet of Things. Basically, wherever there is software or a code, I can actually become very curious and look into it. It could be even the electronic based cars, autonomous cars as well, where I have to do some kind of attack, like relay based attack, where I can hack into the remote control as well. But the main thing for me was the mindset, not the tools there. So if I'm a person who could say I can hack into even a physical infrastructure as well, or even mobile apps or web applications or cars as well, it's because I have this view or a vision for hacking in a different way compared to most of the people. Because I mean, I do not blame anyone here. The reason is my journey was different, but this journey has added to my life really so well. I can help people in a better way. And even the people who are only saying that, hey, look, we use this tool and we do OWASP top 10 attacks. I mean, they're good, but the next level is going deeper and digging deeper, because we are going to fight the black hat hackers. The simple thing here, which I would like to highlight, is if black hat hackers and white hat hackers used to use, I mean, they use the same tools, right? So we are thinking, when I say we white hat hackers are thinking that black hat hackers are going to use these tools to hack into our applications. But if we are also using the same tool and produce a report and give it to the customers, then why do we still see breaches in day-to-day life? So that itself is a logical explanation that we are barking at the wrong tree. And probably, I mean, I'm very much sure that the black hat thinking is very much different, and we are thinking something else here. So we have to become like black hat hackers itself. And when I started this black hat concept, I was not really a black hat hacker, but maybe I was. So that's up to you how you want to see me. So what happened is I was lying to my mother a lot, and she was thinking I was speaking truth. And the only truth was only I knew that I was lying, but I did not have a specific keyword because I did not even know the word called as a lie or true or truth. I was just doing whatever I was feeling happy about. So that's what the definition of the moron, right? Okay, when you are in between 9 and 11 years old, you just go ahead and do something. So that's what I was doing. And I was lying. I was a great liar. And today as well, I am. Maybe you can think that, okay, Santhosh is not a liar. So I will leave again this thing to you. So you got to think about, so is Santhosh a liar, or is he fake, or is he someone who speaks rational truth, or who is he? So this is how it started. And these few years at the starting were crucial for my journey, even till date, because the lessons, what I learned, were really great. And you will see a lot of different examples going forward. And this is what I believe. And I also encourage other people to think like a criminal. And the reason is to only fight the bad guys there. And thinking like a criminal wouldn't make you a criminal, but actually it helps you to become a better white hat hacker, because you need to fight the black hat guys. So this is what I always think about. So if you look at my screen, this is my motivation here. And this is my motivation because I see, okay, these are anonymous guys. And you may see me as, okay, Santhosh is also anonymous, or he may not be anonymous. Again, what we are doing is we are only looking at something which is superficial rather than digging deeper. We are very good at following instructions. Not only us, but the whole world is great at following the instructions. You can look into corporations, you can look into the government, you can look into anything. We follow instructions really well. And that's the biggest problem in our security industry, that we are great at producing only reports at the end and then saying this application is certified because of the compliance issues. Maybe the customer says, hey, look, I need a certification because I need to show it to my customers to get more business. That's how we get the revenue and we can progress. I understand all that, but I still did. To be truthful, I really do not understand that. The reason is I see people. I do not see companies. I see people behind the scenes. So if I am helping a company, I'm helping the users, and maybe that person is going to be someone who can be a victim tomorrow by a black hat hacker, or may not be. So my fight is with the people where I help them to be secure enough to whatever extent. And again, when I say I help them, I'm not saying that there's a foolproof solution for everything. Of course, it's a 24 bar 7. Okay, there has to be someone who is working on security projects inside the company, like someone is breathing down their neck, and you are thinking, you are exercising different aspects of your application, and a lot of things. The biggest, and one more biggest problem. Now you must be thinking, Santhosh is the person who keeps speaking about the big problems, right? So I love speaking about the problems because I like finding the solutions as well. And in here, OWASP top 10 attacks is great, but going beyond it is the best thing. So I started practicing, how do I breach into this physical infrastructure? How do I breach into this ATM, the machines that you have? How do I use those kiosk machines and try to go to the operating system files, wherever you see in the shopping malls or anything? So I started doing all these things. And I even tried getting into a physical infrastructure of my school where I stole the question papers. And however, my mother and my teacher got to know that. And they told me, you did not even steal it. You know everything because of my grades. And many people thought that I was an intelligent kid, but actually I was very great at memory skills. I could read a page and I could remember things. I could remember around 100-digit phone number or digits. So this is what I did, practicing to be like a criminal, but not really a criminal. So now I know the laws. So that's why I wouldn't really encourage people to commit the crime, but think like one. Now I will tell you a real story on the same thing. How did I hack into my girlfriend's email account without any tools? But mindset, ego, and possessive nature. And I had this possessive nature towards my girlfriend, and no one should speak to her. Or I mean, basically, I was an asshole, right? So that happened. That started finishing. So I'm going to tell you how it really happened. I got a suspect that my girlfriend is cheating on me, and what I did is to hack the account of that suspect, whoever was chatting with my girlfriend. So I had to find that person's email address. So how did I find that email address? So I went to a social media account, because in India, we had this social media platform where most of the people were signing up using their Gmail, because you had to have a Gmail account. Only then you could sign up on that social media platform. What I did was I tried to find that person's name, went to about section of the profile. I found the Gmail email address. So I took the email address. I went to the Gmail. So I'm on the Gmail webpage now. I went to the forgot password. And once I go into the forgot password, I'm thinking, okay, let me enter this person's email address. For example, let's consider this as Mr. X, right? Mr. X @gmail.com. So once I went to the Gmail forgot password, I enter Mr. X @gmail.com. I click on submit form, and I was disappointed. I was disappointed because the message that I got was, your email authentication link has been sent to our secondary email inbox, which is ** and then M ** R then ** @hotmail.com. So now I was thinking that, what if the first username part, wherever there were stars, because I cannot see them, the biggest, I think it was a mistake from the Google, the Gmail side, where they were showing the stars exactly as the username characters. They could just say 1 star or 3 stars if it was 10 characters. So what I did was I matched whatever Gmail username part of that person who is my target, with the same Hotmail one, and it matched. So that was my first level of happiness. But I had to really go to hotmail.com and see whether this email account really exists or not. What I did was went to hotmail.com and then again go to forgot password. And in forgot password, I entered the email address at the hotmail.com. And now this time I was really happy because it asked me a security question called as, what is my favorite dish? And I was really happy. And then my brain, the mindset part, okay, all of these things, it started working. And then it told me, and here, nothing against a religion or a person or anything else, but the hacker brain works this way. Now I had to say the profile of the person. This person belongs to this religion, and probably this person is going to have this as a favorite dish. And of course, in India, many people have this love for chicken biryani. So all I did was went in the text field and entered chicken biryani, and I clicked on submit. And that was great because it asked me to reset the password by entering a new password for hotmail.com. Now that was brilliant actually, because I did not only get Gmail account, even though I wanted to hack into that account, I got Hotmail as well. And once I opened the Hotmail from the new password, which I set for that person, I already had an email from the Gmail saying that you can reset your password by clicking on this link. I click on that link, reset the password for Gmail as well. Now I got Gmail, Hotmail, and that social media account as well. That was really cool because even from social media account, I can use forgot password and send it to Gmail because now I have Gmail. Now you see how it's linked to everything. And I give credits to my ego as well there and possessive nature as well, because my brain really worked in a different way. Today, I'm not egoistic or being possessive about things, but I know how to think like one. So that's the thing I'm speaking about, the mindset part here. Now, and then finally, I got to know that this person is someone who was chatting with my girlfriend, but that's a climax part. But that's not really cool here, because the great learning here is how the brain thinks, how my brain started thinking, and what was the event, and why did I get the suspect. So finally, I got all this news, and then the person, the target, became my fan, and he wanted to learn hacking from me. So, I mean, I did not have, he did not know that I was a boyfriend of that girlfriend, right? So that was a story here. And we have one more story, but before that, I would like to show you something, a video, and then we can continue to the next story. Now, I'm opening a security breach here. So this is a website by Coca-Cola, the Coke to Home. And in here, how I found the authorization vulnerability. Now, most of you may have this security bug in your application. This is access control or authorization. And wherever you see the IDs, right, be careful. You should not use a sequential IDs. And it's one now, and tomorrow it may be two, and the next user may be 3, 4, 5, so on. And those can be easily guessable. So what I'm doing here, I'm selecting my city as Bangalore. Great. And I add something to a bag. So what I'm doing here is a feature tuning, seeing how it's working. I click on checkout, and I go to login or register.php page, enter my phone number, and then the password, and click on login. I'll speak about this password later because the shoulder surfing, you can just count the stars or the bullets, and then you get to know how many characters is the password. So we have a solution for that as well. Even though it's a social engineering, you can randomize the characters using a Java script. So anyways, moving forward from the password, login. Once I logged in, you will notice that, okay, this is my address here, Santhosh Tuppad, and there is my email address, mobile number, and then there is a residential address. From here, I got to how my brain was thinking, I'll tell you. Now I thought if it's my address, what is the structure of the request or a JSON request body itself? What's happening there? So I had to study. Maybe in this video you won't see it, but I had to do that background work of looking into the network tab and seeing, actually inspecting and analyzing the request body, the JSON request body. And that's very easy as well. You can use your developer tools. So this is my address. Going forward, now you may feel that it's very simple, but actually, once you see, okay, it becomes simple, but once you develop this, creating the ideas, the mindset, you start thinking in different ways. And people had not found this security bug there, even though they went to some security folks, I guess. What I will do now is I will fetch someone else's address. So let me forward it a bit. Great. And I'm in a Tamper data. So long time back, I used to use this Mozilla Firefox add-on called as Tamper data. Nowadays, I use Burp Suite, the tool. But all these tools, without this idea, they wouldn't be possible. Look at here. Let me pause this. I used to look into all these key value pairs. This is the key parameter name here on the left side. And this is where I get excited. Address button and address button second. So this is the ID, which is in the database. So what I did at this point, my brain started thinking, I have to look into the response body once I enter some other address here. And let's hope that it really gives me the address. Well, it's good for me as a hacker, but not good for the company. So I go here, 200, and the second one as well, 200, because they both have to be same. And then I keep clicking on submit. And once all the requests, look at this. Okay, let me pause here. Just a moment. Great. Next to Deluxe Hotel. This was not my address at all. Look at this. Bhavani Nagar and the phone number as well. However, it doesn't give me the first name and the last name and the email address. I get all the details like address and mobile number as well. Now, what I can do is I can keep doing this, saying that 13012 and then 131415, keep going on. I can use the request library in Python if I really want to make it faster. But if you have time, you can do it one by one as well. So I will collect all the phone numbers. I will open something called as Coke to Home, a competitor of Coke to Home. And I will send a message to all these people saying that we will give you 25% discount compared to Coke to Home. So you see that how the customer information is coming to me as a hacker. And all I did was changing those numbers. So pay attention. Start by paying attention to what is this HTML? What is it doing here? Can I change it? Can I remove it? Just apply this. I call it as a CRUD operation. Some people call it as CRUD, but as you have the CRUD, CURD, like create, update, or remove, or other things like delete. So you can perform all those things. So it's a mindset. What you are thinking is you are not a hacker, is what you are thinking. You cannot do all these things. It's something like a rocket science or whatever. But actually, it's the mindset. What you want to achieve from this website. Do you want to get the email address of the people, or you want to buy some goods for free? And you can also do the same attacks, because I have tried it on some of the applications before, and you could increase your bank balance, or you could increase your credits in your shopping websites, and you can shop for free. But I do not encourage on doing that. But there are many security bugs in such areas, because access control is the heart of your application. Once that is gone, you have to work on the architecture again, and that's more expensive. And that speaks about why most of the companies go to a security person only after the application is developed. They think that, okay, it will be less expensive or even cheaper, but actually it's going to be more expensive because they're not paying attention to what they are really doing, the time and money and the architecture as well. So what I would encourage is start looking into the security requirements from the starting itself. So this one, and let's go back to our next story. Now, this was one more real story. Is I hacked email account of my colleague. He was sitting beside me, and I asked him, wait, actually, before asking him, I went to his email account. By now, you must be knowing that Santhosh Tuppad goes to forgot password, because that's one of my favorite areas. So where I start my hacking journey from. So I go there to forgot password. I enter his email address, and then it tells me, it asks me this question: what is your pet's name? And I try something, whatever the pet's name are in India, but I couldn't really. And after some time, I start initiating a conversation. I start a conversation with him, asking him, "Do you love dogs?" And he says, "Oh, too very much." And I say, "Me too." Well, you know what? I'm not a dog person, but still, my mission was to get his account details, credentials. So I say, "Yes, I love dogs." And then he says, "Oh, what's your dog's name?" And then I say, "It's something, let's say X." And then I ask the same question to him: "Do you have one?" And he says, "Yes." So in my brain, I'm thinking that this connects back to the security question. And then I asked the name of the pet, and he says, "Oh, it's Rocky," right? So I got the name, and I had kept my web form in the application online. And once he tells me that and goes for the lunch hour, during the lunch hours, I actually enter that name of the pet and then reset the password for him. And he doesn't even know that I hacked it. However, I gave the password and credentials to him. Sorry, it was not in a full screen mode. So this is how I hacked into his email, just by asking questions. And that's why security questions are bad. They don't do any good. You have a multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication. They do it really well. And please do not make a mistake of having a password in your application and then saying there's a one-time password sent to your email. They're not two-factor authentication. You need to have a device, something that you know, something that you have, and something that you are. Like it could be the scan of your eye, the iris scan, and also the biometrics, so which could be your fingerprints. So it speaks about multi-factor authentication. Security questions, if you are doing it, I think you need to remove it, because you can brute force there as well. And some people do not even have a CAPTCHA or kind of a intrusion detection systems, where they can tell the product owner or the company, someone is trying a lot of requests for this feature for so long, should we block them? They don't do it. In the first 1000 requests, you get to understand the architecture of application. That's how I have cultivated this habit in my brain, where I can look at the application user interface and I can tell you where the bugs are, security bugs are. And I really don't know how you can cultivate that, because I cannot write about it in terms of how I really do it. But I think it's ingrained inside me, and you can also do it with a consistent practice. This is a last real story, but I'm not speaking about this part as of now. What I want to do is speak about the myths here. Learning a specific tool will make me a great hacker. Not really, because you will just keep learning the tool like Burp Suite or from any other off-the-shelf software, commercial softwares as well. But depends on how you define great for yourself. To me, great is not getting bored with what I do. So that's when I can call, okay, whatever I'm doing great. It's not about to proving to someone or how the world looks at me, how I feel, a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day, whatever I do. And use these tools and we will be secure. Well, you already know how we are fighting the black hat guys. And secure, I think when you look into the secure keyword, I just got it before a few hours. SE, and then you have a cure. So I think we need SE stand for software engineering, and we can cure the software engineering with security itself. So that's how I call secure. And or else you want to be a secure person, like being a sick person, because you're not focusing on the security of your application. That can also work, but depends on what you choose. I'm certified in these tools and I can fight black hat hackers. That's a great myth. You cannot fight them, I'll tell you. If you are just certified in these tools, again, we are barking at the wrong tree, just saying tools, tools, tools. Tools are great, but your ideas drive them. If you do not have the ideas, if you do not have this mindset of hacking, if you do not have this evil mindset of how I can steal something, how I can take something, maybe I can maybe I can be a Robin Hood. I can take the money and I can give it to the poor people. So, I mean, thinking like that. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but it's up to you. And last one is I cannot be hacked. Okay. I have been hacked, and I still feel even tomorrow I can be hacked as well, because you have a lot of information about me already. If you keep watching the videos of a person on a YouTube or anywhere, you get to understand a lot about a person. For instance, if I ask you a question, okay, you must be having a social media account, like let's say Facebook. Now you have that password, okay, not more than 10 characters. Most of the people will say, yes, you are right. It's not more than 10. You will answer everything. And I have experienced some people, I have this experience where people came to me and said, Santhosh, I end it with 1, 2, 3. And I said, thank you. I never understood why people are giving me the information thinking that, okay, maybe they're having this proud feeling that they use a strong password. If you have a strong password, please do not share it, or please do not say what it is about. And also, if your typing speed is slow, make sure no one is standing behind you, because those are social engineering attacks. And when connected with social engineering, again, I have this frustration when a stakeholder or a product owner says, that's a social engineering bug. We do not really fix it. You know what? That's when I get annoyed, because they don't even want to speak about it. Even the social engineering attacks can be mitigated one at a time. For instance, if someone is behind me and they are looking at my screen and there's a password, now there are 8 characters. At least what I can do is I can randomize them. If I type 1, okay, they show 3 bullets or 3 stars. If I type second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, it's randomizing. The entropy level is really stronger. So if I do it, it will be great. Then I gave them this solution to some people. Some companies are using it now. I won't name them, but they are using this piece of code. And this is JavaScript I wrote in around 15 minutes, and they're using it. And that's stopping at least one of the attacks, which is shoulder surfing, and they are counting those stars. Of course, someone can use a pinhole camera in their shirt and then record the keystrokes, whatever someone is typing. So be careful wherever there is the surveillance, the CCTVs or anything. So those are the myths. So just give me 15 seconds. Okay, let me take a deep breath. All right. All right. So let's see, if I had to build a team, and which I have done before as well, and many people had problems with this approach, because they were saying you are going to get black hat hackers inside our company who were ex-black hat hackers. Well, I see that, okay, you are going to add a lot of value by taking a step back and seeing from a different perspective. I'm not saying you have to go ahead and do only these things, but if I were to do it, I would do black hat hackers and white hat hackers as well, because that's the team that I would love to build, because you have both the mindsets here. One is a black hat hacker and one more is a white hat hacker. we work in a structured way, and some black hat hackers do not work in a structured way, just like me, because in security, okay, it's structured and unstructured, or conventional and unconventional. So my brain sees things where it's hard for some people to see, and they are asking me these questions: how is it a problem? And some people come back to me and say, we are using this algorithm, it's 16 characters longer, and it's fine. Our file names are encrypted. What they mean by encryption is they are taking a file whenever you upload using the upload feature, and they convert the file name from 5 characters or 3 characters to 16 characters, randomize them totally. Now that's a problem, and they come back to me and they say, we do this, we don't have a problem. Now on top of that, I would, if I have that video, let me show you that. Here, cool. Now this is a website, medifee.com, wherein you had a directory listing vulnerability, and people are really proud that, okay, they are doing it really well with the file upload, and someone uploads his healthcare reports online. So when you are doing this, what I did, my brain always looks into this part. I do this first. One is the directory listing, or /images, or /robots.txt, or anything. It could be /Santhosh as well. I just want to see what's the response. Now you see there is a directory here because they haven't turned off the directory listing. And this is a big problem. Now I will show you what happens next with those long file names. Now, when I'm here, I'm thinking about what else could be there. So I start going to the root level. In here, I just say uploads. It's a guesswork. I just said upload. I did not even use any tool for this. I did not say I need to brute force this or anything. What I'm doing is a manual brute force, right? So I'm doing a trial and error method. Uploads, it could be backup, or it could be images, or it could be sensitive files, or anything. Now, once I say uploads, I was really happy here. You see these long file names here, and these are more than 16 characters because they converted the file names to something more stronger. But the bigger problem is they did not really turn the directory listing off, and that's the big problem and the funny one as well. In one shot, I'm getting all the files, all the health reports here. Now, once I have this, I open this. I'm not going to show you this part because there could be sensitive information, but I'm not sure. Okay, that's a bigger one. So you saw all this is part. There's not much. Okay, so it started downloading everything because I use a download software. So I appreciate you if you do not share this information, even though we have, I'm showing you what happens because I really wanted to show you how the mindset of programmers could be and how someone's pride can kill them. So this was one of the example where I reported it to them, and whatever I'm showing it to you, they have fixed it, and also they have thanked me, and this is just a responsible disclosure, which I do only for testers around the globe, just to help them where they can use this knowledge somewhere else, wherever it helps them in their companies or in their companies only. Please do not be a black hat person here because the laws are stringent sometimes and you are responsible for whatever you want to do. So that was one more example of how I showed you, even though you speak about your IDS systems and IPS, intrusion detection systems, and intrusion prevention systems as well, they don't really do a good job. They are plan B. Plan A is getting your application security code really well. And when you do it really well, then you think about the IDS, which is your detection system, and prevention system, only then. And this is what I do, expand my network of hackers, because I love to hear others' experiences. And I travel the world to meet ex-black hat hackers and Hacker Lab, because I run a 98 GB RAM on my machine. In this room, I have desktop machines as well and bigger on the racks as well, which will help me to do certain kinds of attacks whenever I'm helping the clients of mine. So set up your hacker lab, and you need not invest 98 GB RAM or anything. The first thing is learn how to create this mindset in terms of doing these exercises. And if you need exercise files or anything, feel free to ping me, and they are on SlideShare, and you can work on it and you can send it back to me, and I can give my feedback and I can ask you questions which will guide your brain to go somewhere else deeper. So this is how I would build my team. And going forward, I think this is all I got. But before doing this, I want to go back because we did not speak about this part, the key logging part. Now, this is really a dangerous one. And this is a JavaScript code, which is 15 lines, which I wrote using the string methods and other things. Now, the problem with this is I had this file in my email. I went to a different country. I wouldn't name a country here, but what I did, I will tell you. So I checked into the hotel. And once I had this access to the hotel, I usually watch out. I mean, I usually watch what's the where is the reception, where are the computers, if there are any. Is there any business lounge? I look into it, and it's happening. I mean, it's working in my brain, and it's calculating different things. And I checked in, and then I come back during the lunch hours to see what's happening. At this time, I see many people surrounding a specific common computer there, and it had a printer. And in this printer, what they were doing is they were taking a print copy of their flight ticket because they had to fly from there again back. So when they were doing this, I was observing them. I looked into how they were behaving and what they were actually doing. Everyone were logging into Gmail and Yahoo Mail because I can sit in the lounge area and keep looking into the computer screen. So that's what I got to know. Then I got to know that they are taking the print copies. And what if I install my JavaScript plugin extension in the web browser? So what I did was took the extension, the Google Chrome extension, the CRX file, and I imported it into the Chrome extensions, and the attack had already happened there. What happened is I came back to my place after that, and for 2 weeks, I was getting all the keystrokes from that computer continuously. And this included the username and password of the emails as well. But actually, I got scared because I started getting a different sensitive information, and I had to shut it down because this was a part of experimentation where I reported it to the hotel folks and asked them to change some policies as well inside. So this was demonstration purpose, and I was hired to do it. So this was a dangerous one, and you can install that Chrome extension on any web browser using social engineering. But just be friendly with people, okay? They will even give their mobile phones to you sometimes. So be careful. Do not give any of your device to anyone. And be careful whenever someone asks you to give a laptop, and it just takes like 5 seconds to install that Chrome extension, and you're done. And your antivirus is not going to help in this because it sees it as JavaScript, and also it's inside the web browser. There are no signatures for that. You can run it in extensions. So if you have, and that's also a myth. If you were thinking that I have a great antivirus, it's not going to help. So this was a real story, and the mindset part, keep focusing on that, and you will do great. And that's when you become a great hacker, is what I feel. And thank you, everyone. And thank you especially for these amazing rock stars, whatever you see on the screen there. make sure they have helped me to put this show here. And also thanks to Agile Testing Days and Practice Test as well. And these are my details. And some people have complained that I don't use a URL shorteners, and I do not use them for my own reasons. If you are really curious, okay, we'll talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Santhosh.
Thank you.
It was amazing for me as a non-techie. This session had everything. It had the tech parts where I don't have a clue about it, but you also had some exciting personal stories in it, and yeah, I really liked it. It was like I said, it had everything, like a good movie on Hollywood.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Shall we move to answer the questions?
Do we have more time?
For what? Let us know.
I would like to show something on the screen.
Sure, then just do it.
Perfect. Okay, let me share my screen. Just a moment. My dream store. All right. Great. Sharing the screen now. Cool. Perfect. Now, many people ask me about these tools. I just wanted to mention this website called Packet Storm Security, where under files, you have many tools here. You have thousands of them. So what you can understand by this is, so if you see here, 73,928, A650, this tells me that it's not only about tools. It's not going to help you by just clicking somewhere and then doing it. Long time back, we had those tools, and that's when I was a script kiddie, because all I used to do was download the tool and click on scan and then get the password itself. So that's how I used to do the things. So you have many tools, and what I use is a port swigger for web applications and mobile apps as well, wherever there is a client and server interaction. And for this thing, I use OSINT framework, which is open source intelligence for information gathering. So if I have to go and get email of anything else, I can do that. For instance, your mindset has to be in this position where if I have to get some data or emails from pst.ro website, this is a political party's website, but I'm just going to show you something here. So I go to hunter.io, which is, you can call it again a tool. So I know many tools like this, which will help me to find something quickly. So what I do here is enter any domain. We have many other different plugins as well. So you see this thing here, but this is a trial one or anything, because it replaces the next two characters with AA here. What I do is take this one, the mindset part here, Google search. Google is my friend here. You see that, okay, showing results for this person, which means it did not find something and it is showing me the right email address. And if I want to see if this person is a real account holder, what I do is look at how I am going from whatever I get the information, and I go to something else. So it's a chain of requests that you are having for yourself to find out the things. So I paste it here. I don't know really. I'm not a robot. Okay. Traffic lights. This is annoying sometimes. Cool. Check address. And that will tell me if there is an email address which is existing on that box or not when you use a mail tester. So there are many tools. It's a combination of everything and not just one thing. Look at here. The email exists, but they have a firewall. it doesn't allow mail servers identification. This is a good thing. So I can send an email and I can look for the email response, and this is how you get, and this is how we do different kinds of attacks as well. And it's just not about your application security and reports and OWASP top 10. OWASP top 10 is great, but it's, you have to go beyond it. You cannot just lie there. And once you look into this OSINT framework, if you wanted to learn the tools, right? Okay, you have many tools here for years now, if you wanted to. But I don't encourage for just looking into the tools. Just focus on the mindset, practice different exercises, critical thinking or lateral thinking, or you can refer to the book called by Edward De Bono, Six Hats of Thinking, cognitive thinking, and also watch people, their body language and the physiological expressions. And if you go and ask someone, hey, you're on Facebook, your password is not more than 8 characters, I bet. And then that person is going to think and say, oh no, it's more than that, which means that person may be speaking true. If that person was in front of me, I will see the eyebrows or the face expressions and everything. And if that person is saying, how do you know? It means you said something right. So yes and no are answers. So take, record it, and then analyze everything. Cool. Stopping here. Thank you. Perfect.
Awesome. Spooky. But good that I have you as my friend, and then you can keep me safe.
You are on the top, bro. You're my brother. Yeah.
Let's go to the questions. There's one question that was asked already in the chat, and it was already answered. So I would just recommend to not get into it right now. But we have, you can always see the answer.
Right.
And so let's go to the second question. It's from Butch Mayu. I remember there was he's very often joining and asking questions. He's from the US and was a speaker at ATD USA last year. So a good boy and very interactive. So the question is, any good podcasts or resources to help in gaining a better hacker mindset? So what do you have?
Right. For resources, I'll tell you how I start, because I don't want to tell something where many people will give you the same set of resources or podcasts. I started with a book called as Hacking for Dummies. That was when I was 21. But I had already knew how hacking works. What I would say is Hacking for Dummies by Kevin Beaver. I would comment there with the same thing. Hacking for Dummies is where one can start. And the next one is a OWASP cheat sheet series. This is really good. If you go and can I comment one more? All right. Yeah. So OWASP.com, if you go OWASP.org. If it doesn't work, okay, just replace with the .com or .net. I don't know. So once you go there, you have a cheat sheet series. I also contribute to OWASP community, where I did it for the cascading style sheets, the last one. And the cascading style sheets is, if you have a different access or roles like a teacher, student, or administrator. Now, if you right click and go to view source, you will see a main.css file. Now that's a cascading styling file for everything. Now the bigger problem there is, it's also telling you the other roles styling as well, like administrator and teacher as well. So as a student, I right click, view source, and then go to main.css, and I see add users, add teachers, add students, those selected names in the CSS file. So I get to know, if I spend good enough time in hacking this person's account, I will get access to all these ad users, ad teachers, and everything. So segregating the CSS file based on specific role. If this person is a student, load only student CSS, not the teacher or admin. If it's admin, only load admin CSS. So this is what I did it for cheat sheet in OWASP community. So cheat sheet series.oasp.org. That's one more, and that's that resource you can keep it at the top, and also look into the Mozilla security headers. If you go to MDN, Mozilla Developer Network, just search for MDN secure headers. So learn about your HTTP headers if you are doing web or mobile or wherever there is client and server communication. So starting for that, I wouldn't give you more podcasts or anything, because Hacking for Dummies by Kevin Beaver and OWASP, and also you can look into Kevin Mitnick's. So if I have to rank them, Kevin Mitnick would be the first person in my list. The Art of Deception, and also The Ghost in the Wires is a great book. How everything goes in frames, packets, and bits and bytes, how we can decipher them, and much more deeper. And you can watch movies like Swordfish and Mr. Robot as series. And whenever I watch Mr. Robot, I feel like, is that my brother? Okay, the way he thinks, and he's just not speaking there, but he is thinking here, everything, and he's talking to himself. And that's what happens to me whenever I walk into a hotel or airports or anywhere else. And also on YouTube, you can watch Border Security. It's a series by different countries, and you can watch, look into the concealment sections, how the security guards really look into the bags or the baggage, or whenever they're checking in or checking out. Yeah. So border security is a good one. So that's good for a start. And you can talk to me. You can ping me on Twitter or anything. I will give you more details about other things. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. We have two more questions. And the next one is from Mike Fontner, also well known. He was speaking at ATDs last year, so seems to be a reunion of ATD speakers. Which hackable website for training would you recommend?
Cool. USharp, Webcode, Altera Mutual, and more. I have hundreds of them. I can send the mind map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have made given a comment there.
Yeah.
So I have a mind map for different practice websites. I can send all of them, and then you can practice on them. But make sure that you do not do distributed denial of service attacks, DDoS, because a lot of requests and everything, and other people who want to practice cannot, because you have got the website down. Yeah.
Okay. And let's do the final question. This is from Whitehead QA. Where to practice black hat techniques, or where to find people who practice it for good reason they don't do anymore?
This is a great question. But also I'm thinking where to practice black hat techniques. Well, one of the answer could be, okay, if we have a session together and we can do it, or else find the people who practice it. I found these people on IRC, Internet Relay Chat. A long time back, we had this MIRC, and even today people use it for Linux and Unix. I used to use the Dalnet. Mike, okay, I found one more brother here, because I was an IRC addict. I used to use Dalnet, and also there were other networks as well. Usenet, I have used it, but not very frequently. I used to find most of the ex-Black Hat hackers on Dalnet, DALNET. And one of the person had sent me an email with all the credit card numbers once, and I was really scared. I don't know why he sent it to me, because maybe he liked me, or he not like me, or maybe he wanted to trap me. I'm not sure, but he sent it to me. And black hat techniques, I think the best one would be talking to each other and seeing, and also you can look into hackthebox.eu, but it's not really a what do you say, black hat, but you can practice in a better ways. Hackthebox.eu as a practice site. I'm going to comment there. Yeah. In the chat, you can see hackthebox.eu there. And DALNET. So again, Dalnet. The black hat techniques, hack the box, and other things is the interaction and IRC. You can try there, but I have not been in touch with them for now. But I meet some people in person in India here and also other countries. That's how I do it. But I think we can talk more deeper on this because this question needs more descriptive discussion. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Santhosh. Before we finish, one question. You mentioned that there's some data you ask us don't to share, and but we plan to have the replay of this webinar available on YouTube and also later on or right after here on Crowdcast. So shall we cut the details out before we publish it?
That part, yes. I was thinking about it. I think there are some parts, okay, which have to be cut.
Yeah. Okay. Let's discuss afterwards what needs to be cut out, and then we will upload on YouTube a director's cut of this version. And directly here on Crowdcast, we will see maybe we have to delete the replay and re-upload it after we made the director's cut. So
awesome.
That's info for everyone.
Yeah, and I request everyone, whoever has seen some demos or anything, that was for your learning only, and I do this so that people can learn. So I would really appreciate if you keep it with yourself, and you can share the techniques though, but not the names or any part. So I do it everywhere because I want people to feel it rather than just speaking with the slides. And that's the reason I showed the recordings as well, which I did before. So thank you for that.
Okay, then let's finish it. Just a quick reminder again for the next webinar that will be on September 16th with Lizzie Hocker. And now a big shout out to Santhosh. Thanks for your time, for the preparation of the presentation and doing the presentation.
Thank you.
And thanks to the audience for tuning in. Thanks to my team. And thanks again to PractiTest for the sponsoring. And now everyone have a good time. Stay well, stay blessed, and always be kind to each other. And the last final words to my friend and brother, the wonderful Santhosh, is closing today.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you all.